I hope everyone is watching me right now. So I'll wait for a couple of people to come online. I can see the audience building. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone watching me. My name is Tapang Ivo Tanku, and of course, I'm here because you're there, and I'm here because of the recent wave of activities happening in the country, Cameroon, and particularly our own country, West Cameroon or Southern Cameroon, as you may want to call it, or Ambazonia, as you may want to call it. So good morning, hello to everyone watching me. Chonko Pauline, Awobit Martin Chemfo, Napoleon Chinde, yes, and a couple of others. Hello to everyone. So right now, of course, I would like to give a brief presentation before I take some questions, because this morning, of course, we woke up to noticing that the Prime Minister has been heading to the northwest region of Cameroon, that is particularly in Sot Land. And if you've been from, or if you've been to the northwest region, you know that Sot, that is the major opposition stronghold in Cameroon. Sot, that's Sot Land. That is the major opposition stronghold, especially in Kumbo. And so if you win Kumbo, of course, we are in for a defeat, but we cannot let that happen. So the Prime Minister, of course, has been to those areas, Noni, Nkor. He has been to Nkor, he has been to Noni, and he has also been to Kumbo itself, where he is trying to convince the Fon of His Royal Highness Sembinglo. He's a no-nonsense man. The last time I met him was in 2011 during the elections. I was there with the Prime Minister, and I could see how the Fon was very bitter with the Prime Minister, head of government, Philemon Yang. So it was a disgrace for him, because at the palace they were supposed to hold a rally, and the Fon, of course, had always rubbished. You know, he's a man full of pride. He has always rubbished the tradition, but coming back to lobby for the president in 2011 was a big blow to the Fon of Sot, who happens to be a CPD militant. But of course, he's a no-nonsense man, and he doesn't take rubbish, and he also listens to his people. So that was the last time I met both of them in Sot. That was in the palace itself, that was constructed by the Libyan president, Muammar Gaddafi. There was a big mosque there. And of course, I hailed the people of Sot, and I hailed the Fon of Sot for standing out strong for his people. And he has always stood out strong with the Kumbo Water Authority and all of those. So basically, today we'll be talking about communications. That was just a brief background. We'll be talking about communications and the need for rural communication. If you've noticed, we've been winning this online, and we've been winning this. I mean, social media action has been huge. Potentially, I deal with statistics. This is the huge advantage, or these are the huge advantages I will be giving to you right now. The first thing is, notice that we are all youths. That is the first thing. We are all below 55. And for West Cameroonians, to be more specific, 98% of us are below 55 years old, which makes it very strong for people like the Fon of Sot, who is above 55, the Kwifon, who are all above 55, and all of those few traditional rulers who are above 55. It makes it very difficult for them to impregnate our defense system. It is very difficult. So we must instill, we must strengthen, and we must enforce unity, especially at this particular time of this crisis, because we are winning. The second thing is that we are geographically clustered, because we are all located in northwest, southwest Cameroon. Take, for instance, northwest Cameroon, Anglophone Cameroon was separated by, let's say, central region. It could have been very difficult for us to harmonize strategies or even regroup ourselves when we fall. It's very quick. It's very easy to understand. The biggest defeat for the West, for East Cameroon right now, is that Northwest and Southwest Cameroon are geographically bounded. And that is why they've tried as much as possible to separate us along Northwest, Southwest, but it doesn't work. We are together Southern Cameroonians, and we are together Northwest or Southwest Cameroons group as West Cameroon. So we should stop this Northwest Southwest divide thing. So coming back to communications, we've been very strong online, but there is a very weak communication gap at the grassroots. That is the strength of this protest. That is the strength of our winning strategy. Okay, Matt, so Matt talk with Pidgin. All right, Matt talk with Pidgin. Sorry, projector. All right, Matt just talk for Pidgin. In summary, I don't talk say the biggest win, the biggest power we'll get them for this strike, for this action. Now say one, we be located for the same place. No be say southwest or southwest and northwest they be divided by francophone. No. No be say we'll be divided by center region. No. We'll be located together, and I the make and with coordinate our strategies then effectively, and I the make and with stand strong. When we talk say when I do so, the next minute people already travel go Manfi from Bamenda through the kum already go man go talk say don't talk someone do so it be very easy for we for coordinate strategy and for harmonize, and that be the strongest point we'll get them. Then the second thing I say, most of we where would they for Facebook now, so as you watch me, would they below 55 years? And for statistics for West Cameroon, now say more than 98% of West Cameroonians that they below 55 years. That one are reliable statistics from World Factbook. More than 98 of us percent. That means say for inside 10 people, 9.5 or even 9 self na young people them. So now you will get power for stand against any fund where they above 55 and where they take bribe or any quiffon or any juju or anything where the one come for convince we, because they no fit convince we. But the biggest thing where the whole we now down na say would lack communications, or we need to strengthen our communications for grassroots. Grassroots means say for bottom. On top table, we don't strengthen the communication. That means say for social media we over strong. But for under, that means say for inside our villages and the rest, our communications not be so powerful as such. When I be start this January 2 March, my intention will be na say maybe for all villages. That means say no man will travel go for inside town, no man will travel go for this side, no man will travel go for that side, because I want to make people the believe say you know must then for Bamenda self before strike hole. You must then even for your village that if you do some very strong thing will be very significant, and we go send a strong message, and it go tell even the regime for Yaoundé say we'll be very united, and anywhere we put up a resistance. And now you win a communications tool that now the strongest tool that someone say my lines you interrupt. I don't know, interrupting? Stella Kenyoe. I hope my lines are not interrupting. So now the strongest tool that will get them. All right, so Mansima, please, I'll continue in English, but I just explain this. So the big thing I want to talk now is rural communication. I want just talk this particular thing because I want to bring in my own experience and why I be work for Liberia. For 2015, I be work for Liberia like head for communication, that big man for communications where I fight Ebola. So it be been my work that I be work for there for around 7 months where I be fight Ebola for Liberia. I be work for, they call it Internews, that's USAID, as the health communications liaison officer. So I want to bring in my experience for here for see how if he help with communications for this particular crisis. Because as I don't always talk, this particular crisis is now all about propaganda. It is a war already. It is propaganda. So for here, no morality, no day. This is politics. No morality, no day. No, forget about morality. So if a coachman say lunatic or whatever, I can apologize after. Because I know say now a winning strategy, you have to demonize and vilify your opponents. That means say you get to cause your opponent for make people that win you sympathy. That means say for bring people together. Because of course the regime don't kill we, they don't brutalize we. You even hear the kind of word where president says they call we extremist. That is a bad word. He did not apologize for it. So you want a man to use soft word for president? He's a lunatic. So at the end of the day, you get to also use those words because there is no morals in this thing. You have to vilify and demonize your opponent. Now a whole propaganda campaign. So when I talk about communications, they call and say two-way communications. I will try to break them down as much as possible, the concept. Now two-way communications approach. That means say you do talk and there is a feedback. One, that one be there Liberia. I become because the crisis for Liberia, that Ebola, it will be very difficult to solve. In as much as they've been mobilizing billions of dollars and humanitarian organizations they become who can help people in Liberia for stop this Ebola, but there will be a problem. That humanitarian organization they for on top, just like how we get president and the rest. But they get all the best solutions and all the money and everything for stop this Ebola. But the people they now for the under, the community, the grassroots people, they not be the accept this medicine them. They not be the accept these strategies there from the humanitarian organizations. They not be the accept anything. Now whether the Ebola begin to spread and spread and spread because the people they be get rumors. Because the people them inside one day, might just explain. Time where they be call me and say, I can act now as a go-between, as a liaison officer, health communications liaison officer between the humanitarian organization and the people at the bottom. So now me, they start something where they call and say, information saves lives. If you Google my name for internet, you go see information saves lives / Tapang Ivo for Google. You go see everything what I be doing for Ebola for Liberia. So I be set up a strategy where they call and say information saves life, where it connects both the humanitarian organization and the people at the grassroots. Because the people, they believe in their own solution to solve their own problems, while the people above, they will believe in their own solution as the better one for solve the problem. So how you feel network these two? Because the people below do not be trust that people there for above. That people therefore down, they not be trust that people therefore above. And when there is lack of trust, believe me, there is no way you can win any crisis or win any propaganda or win anything. So I become in as that focal point for trust, for build that trust. So once you get that communications person where they act like liaison, first you get to identify all opinion leaders within that particular grassroots for under. You get to identify, let me say you get to community radio stations, you get to identify people. This one, opinion leaders within your community, you get to identify them. People where they gather, that means all that gathering points there for inside that villages them, you get to identify them. Once you identify them, you set up a focal point. Then those people, then you as a communications person, you get to work with that people there with that focal point. So that any information where these people that they give you for above, since that communications people there for inside that villages them, they trust them most. For example, for Liberia, they trust their local radio presenters past presidents. They trust their chiefs them past any man. But the people them above, since that white man them and the rest, they no be believe say the kind people they fit trust that kind people them no, they don't even trust we. So I be tell them, excuse me, this is the focal point. If you send your information through these people, and it will reach directly to the people, and exactly that the rumors where they get them say, oh, Ebola na di man because na white man cause Ebola we can't keep blacks them na di one. For inside one day I was gathering at least 500 different rumors. I been set up a network system where they just collect rumors from all over the counties, 15 counties of Liberia. So once you gather these rumors, you treat the rumors immediately by sending to the experts them above, to that humanitarian organization guys them. They go respond to that rumors immediately within one day, send me the answers, I cluster the answers, and I send them back through that liaison people them for down. That means say that radio stations and that people them. That radio people them, now they tell them for the community, say, oh, that one a rumor wanna say Ebola na di man cause and no, Ebola no be so. If una chop monkey, una go get Ebola. If una do so, una go get Ebola. Bats them, una go get Ebola. So now so the people they start believe in the information where they come above through their own people where they trust them. So I bring this example because now the same situation or a similar situation for Cameroon. You don't see now say the chiefs them, they don't, and the quiffons and the rest, they don't try wave as much as possible for impregnate with for social media, they need to see them. They don't bring all kinds of spies, they need to see them. They don't try all means at even the national level, they need to see them. They don't come now for the grassroots, they want to use now chiefs and opinion leaders. Believe me, the Fon of Saw is a very influential man. And also believe me, the Inquifon now a very powerful group for North for Saw land. These are the strongest people, and the people believe in these people. You get the point. So once you see, say the Prime Minister don't identify these people, that is a step above us. We get to cripple that step, and we get to show, say we'll pass them for that step. This is the trick. One, if you listen to me for any place where you did, if you did for even abroad or whatever, I believe say you come up for a particular village. If you come up for a particular village, just simply make a simple call. I want them. I don't know how if you do them, but we'll get to do them. Anywhere in Cameroon, that's West Cameroon, call for your village. Identify a key focal point. Once you identify a key focal point, person where people they believe in you for your village, and when a youth, Identify a youth, not identify all person, no. Identify somebody who will be very influential and a key focal point and where he get credibility and trust. Then you put the contact, you will send where you contact. We go deal with it. That means we will deal with it directly. Every information, because of course, people there for inside that villages, they don't get social media. They need to hear what information as I talk with you now. So even their broadband would be very low and very weak. So first, once you identify those people, identify also points them. Meeting or gathering points. For Liberia, they call and say attire shops. For here, they call and say whether gathering points at chumbo houses or whatever. Identify those places because they be very important for us to share information and to spread information. So that if we get a community radio station, let's say Menji radio station for Lebialem or for Banso, they get radio Meteo. If you get other radio station there, you get youth, now youth that work for day. Identify those youths. Identify their local journalism. They no must even go on local radio station for the talk because sometimes if you can shut down the radio station, they go simply use their ability for gather people them and for the talk about things what they discuss them and for the pass the right message without even distorting the message. You see the consortium. Someone talk say the consortium, oh, the consortium is weak. No, the consortium not be weak. We are still strengthening. Believe me. Now only 4 months ago when the strike starts and we're already to win so bigly. So we only strengthen as we go. Any weakness, don't be so quick to point out the weakness. No, that is not a weakness. And don't be so quick to say, oh, it's a failure. Nothing is a failure. Anything at this stage, we are only 4 months. We are only 4 months away. 4 months. Since when the strike start, 4 months. And the lawyers and teachers, they don't resist all kinds of bribes. So believe me, if really we feel so, we feel work together, make we group ourselves then quickly. Once we group ourselves then quickly, we identify any strength we'll get them, build on it bigly, and then we absorb that strength to be part of us. Right now, the community at the community level, we need serious action. If we not put serious action for the community level, we'll go fail, and we'll not fail. So, place where you day, I beg. So just like someone say, people like BBC or whatever, BBC didn't have for Bamenda. I don't mean for towns. I don't mean for towns like Boya Bamenda. Boya Bamenda, we don't capture Boya Bamenda. That's a fact. We don't capture Kumba. We don't capture Tiko. We don't capture Mutengene. I talk about villages. I talk about those places like Kumbo. We don't even capture Kumbo, but we need to build up the strength. Jakirin, Kar, Nkor, Noni, Tatum, all of those places, then those villages, then will get to capture those places. Because if schools start for that place, we are in trouble. So I beg, if you come up for any of these villages, I will be very ready for sacrifice my time. That's not my holiday time. I will be very ready. Baramak, Achiri Bemondo or Tapang or whatever, if you do your own, and I just do my thing as a citizen. I need to work with a consortium. So not tell me say, oh, Ivo is imposing. No, and I'm a suggestion. If you like, I will do them, not do them. If you like, I will follow me, follow me. If you don't like, I will follow me, leave them. But as a citizen, I do work towards the same goal and common goal. The day where I will join consortium, if God bless or if God no bless, no problem. That is when my ideas are bounded by the consortium. But right now, I am a free thinker. And I give the solutions the way go walk way according to me, not be to somebody if he walk. So the first thing, please, wherever you be, identify these focal points. That means for inside a village, find one person where your villagers they trust them. No be chiefs, no. These chiefs that they be very vulnerable to bribe because they are illiterate. Sorry to say that most of them or some of them are illiterate. They be very vulnerable to bribery. They be very vulnerable because they get a large family. They get women them plenty and picking them plenty with the pressure be very hard economically. So when they see even 10,000, now a very big amount of money, but they use them for that town. They already know exactly how to change the system, and they wait now on people like we for give them the right information and for tell them say we for social media we also look at them as the focal point. So if you empower these youths, believe me, they get the power to do anything in that village. They get the power. They go work from place to place. They convince people. They convince them, no, listen to this chief, not do this, not do this. This chief, they take bribe. And the people then they go listen to that person. So if you there for any side, Batibo, Bafoot, or whatever, please, I beg you, identify some key person where we go work with you. Find that key person. Just a name, and that's all right. Would ever keep confidentiality? If you don't trust me, send her for Mark. If you don't trust Mark, then you do it yourself. I beg, no be force. If you don't trust me, if you feel I never keep your confidentiality for that person, you do and will Mark. If you know and do it yourself. But any man will take your own action at your own local level. But identify a key person, send us a contact or whatever. I go waste my credit or I go sacrifice my credit for call the person, tell you say, okay, we'll set up a database. That database will get a database of focal points in all villages for Cameroon, so that once ever we see any information will be very useful. Now you say consortium, say boycott, or how they call it, goes down starts on Monday. We'll send, I think, create a network system where we send automated messages them exactly for that focal points, that contact points them. The focal point, and now where they do for those villages, they spread the message, or they go for all of those achumbo houses and the rest. They discuss, they set up a groups or talking points for the villages. They will talk, say, nothing we consortium don't talk them. They don't talk, say no boy, say me boycott, nothing they don't say more do am, and if any chief one come, may they not do so, may they not do so. Exactly. Once we set up that kind of system where we share information almost immediately or almost instantaneously, we don't win. That means if how they call him, that colonial prime minister, if early man young Philemon he come Kumbo, if he come Kumbo, he waste his time because they already send more information for the focal point and they've already sabotage he plans them before he want come. So we must always be ahead of the game. We must always be ahead of the game. So the focal points or the contact or the database where we will set them up, if we want to set that database up now, a private database, we need to share the contact, we need to share the names there on Facebook. We need to share anything for Facebook, no names on Facebook. The only names they want to share on Facebook now people the way that prime minister and that that principal and that SDO them and that DO them where they want start school. We share the names and the telephone numbers for Facebook. Maybe they call them, warn them. But for our contacts or focal points, we get a database of most influential opinion leaders within the villages. Where we get them, we work together, and of course we spread the message instantaneously. So it is a two-way communications approach where we also get to look, say, the people them that contact point for the community, they get to the feedback what the people are saying, what the community dwellers are saying, what are they talking about. They also get what they are saying and then feed us with it. Then we treat it and then we send them back to the communities. So that is a two-way communication approach. So in as much as we trickle information from below, we also get to listen to what the people are saying from below. I don't know if some person understand me. So exactly that is it. Exactly that is it. Once we do and forget it, we have already won the game. We have captured everything. The only hook right now that is loose in this protest, it is a two-way communications traffic. Feedback from the community. We have not strengthened our rural communication. We have to strengthen that base. We have not strengthened it enough. The consortium is working extremely very hard. This morning, Dr. Abobala, he sent me some message, send me a publisher. I never yet publish them because I get to come online. He talk say he be open. He said they don't put them for their website. Say they be open, that they accept any person where he get good suggestion or want come together like a group. Say they be open for welcome any group. Whether not SCNC or whatever and this and that, they be open for welcome any group, integrate them and they work together. That's a wonderful doctor. Thank you very much, Dr. Abobala. That is wonderful. So we should all know that we identify ourselves as Anglophones first and not as SCNC or PAP or SDF or anything. Once we know that we identify ourselves as Anglophones, we have won the battle. Secondly, we identify that we have one lead, which is the consortium. Once we get the consortium and anybody, if you work under the consortium, perfect. So there's no need for distraction. Say, oh, so they create some faction for America. They don't create some faction for Belgium. They don't create some faction for London. No, those splinter groups and factions should be rubbished. They should come under that consortium, bury their ideas, form a representation, and then work together. Then we'll be formidable. Then secondly, we get to build a very strong, powerful communication network because this strike in our communications get to hold them. Now, if you lack communication, you don't feel whether you get the best strategies in this world, you are nonsense. That is why every organization in the world that is very successful has two kinds of things. The first one is a very strong communications department, and the second one is a very good public relations department. Because the PR department builds the public image. They tell the truth, but not all of the truth, and they solve crisis immediately. You need to get those experts. You need to get those experts. So now you are on talking. I beg, if you listen me for anywhere, not only end at watching videos, I not be interested for you even watching the videos. I be interested for you taking the action at your own level. Me, I be a citizen. I'm taking the action at my own level. You should also take the action at your own level. Not wait on somebody to do it for you. So far as you know, say this way they do and the writing, just keep doing it. Because it benefits everybody and benefits the people. So I don't know whether I will take some questions and now before it's more than necessary about talk. Might just take some few questions, please. Questions now, questions. Once when I type on a questions, when I type on a question, I just answer them briefly. So I was spending just 1 hour for talk this thing. I beg. See, why are you waiting for questions? I beg. Any man with listen me, call their village. Look, identify the focal points. We need focal points. People really be influential. I mean, they call them opinion leaders. Identify those opinion leaders. People, the way they talk, way they be very bold and strong. Will keep their confidentiality maximum. Then you identify, take their numbers and the rest. So far, I get Okada people that numbers with the build a database. Once you get that, it's a big win because every information, as we get announced in the video, I just compile them for message and whatever. Call that focal points them. We'll send the message for them. The focal points, then now they translate that message. They share now with the committee. They form down committee groups and the rest. They share the message and we have won. So that is it. I might take some questions then. What should we do in order to organize the local contacts? That's Duen and Ude. The local contacts are simple. Just simply call Duen. Just simply call your village. I think if you're in the village, you should know those people. Me, I come out Bangwa, I know. My mommy come out Awing, I know. My mommy ancestral lineage come out Bangwa, Manual Division. Penka Michelle, I know people every day. So if you know those places then simple, it's very simple. Call, make sure you get a contacts, even community radio stations. The first one I say identify journalists that were at community radio stations. This is a sacrifice. Nobody is paid for doing this. So it's a voluntary thing. So identify journalists that within that your community or whatever, then we'll work together as one. All right, so what should be done for the strike on the 9th to be successful? Because I think we succeed, will win big. Of course, so far we are succeeding, but this is an urgent message. If we get this message, this contacts, then by today evening or tomorrow morning, which is a Friday, then by Saturday, believe me, we'll contact all of these guys, strengthen our base, sabotage any regime gangster who is coming to bribe or take over the lead. Sabotage any of them, and then by Monday we'll get a very strong, powerful force. There are still 3 days. Within 1 hour, many things can happen within 1 hour. So no minimize them. I beg, after this, just call immediately. Call them. Mommy tell you, say, mommy, that boy with the village, so he was strong. So that boy, we need that boy. That boy, the person wavy, even woman them exactly. Because within Jangi groups of villages, they made it talk about a strike. Within Achombo houses, there for villages, made it talk about a strike. Within restaurants, them made it talk about a strike. All those villages, they made it talk about the strike. And the villagers, they get to come as one. So that if Sunday, policeman will arrest one man, they come on, tell the policeman hate. You understand? Exactly. Because now your right for freedom of expression will get to send out the right message. And we get to send out the right message for explain their rights to what they are doing. That is why we need a focal point who is intelligent, who is a little bit educated, and who can listen to us, and who also gather feedback from the community, what the people are saying. The rumors that they are hearing from the community, they go send the rumors to us, then we treat the rumors, we give them the right information, they feedback to the same people, and then the people would know now the right answer to that rumors. So that way we have crippled the rumors. For example, for Banso now, people are rumoring that the chief from send below don't take bribe. Is it true? Now, this is what the focal point will say, will tell us that this is what the people are saying. People, they talk, say chief don't take bribe. So they be very worried. So they go send with that rumors. Once they send with that rumors, like for all other villages, them, just like for Banso, for example, for all other villages, once we gather these rumors, we treat the rumors them accordingly. Send out for consortium. Consortium answer these rumors immediately. Then they send them for winner, the communications people, them will send them back for through that focal points them. The focal points then they tell the people, say no, this thing no be true. Now so it gets today, now so it gets today, now so it gets today. No believe the one, because now so it gets today. The people trust their focal points more than us. They trust their focal points more than consortium, and they trust their focal points more than Pobia. This is a fact. That is a fact. All right, I'm gonna take some few questions then. What is I am not talking about WhatsApp. So any question? Now it says Sankara says, how can we support the consortium with funding? Also, is it possible for the consortium to be live? Of course, it is possible for the consortium to be live, but to me, since now our president I no go accept me they come on live regularly, it is spoil their power, it weaken the power, it weaken the power of the consortium. Once in a while, may they come out life, but let the president, Dr. Abubala, with all due respect, may not come out too much. We've been at the Chiruma Bakari then for the consortium. You've been at the Chiruma Bakari for the consortium. More the talk. We've been at riff raffs. We've been at people with massa talk. More do the talk because we get to send out that message. But may the consortium be our president where they should have some corner. May they come out once in a while. Like how Dr. Akobala come out to say, okay, this is the boycott and this exactly once in a while, but not be too much. It will weaken the power. They get a communications person, a communications focal point, or may they set up a communications unit for communicate their messages. But nobody say the president is going to come out and talk. Forget about this live thing. No, these are for people the way the ambassador talk them. All right. Do you communicate with? Okay, someone says Franklin Banzifon. Ivo, do you communicate with people like Cardinal Tome, Joseph Weber, etc. for better ideas to go ahead? I'm not a part of the consortium, so I don't communicate with them. I may just call them once in a while. They are my friends, of course, but the consortium is communicating with them. So anything the consortium bonds out of it or whatever, I will simply just relate to the public. So if I'm communicating, if I call Cardinal Tome, I just say, oh, Father, bless me, I'm sick or something. Father, forgive my sins. Exactly. I'll say, okay, congrats, this and that. Those are just amicable talks. But for strategies or whatever, no. The consortium handles that. So let them handle that. All right. Let me get some questions from Tojimeka. He says, what measures can be taken to correct the black legs, especially in Boya and Limbe? Boya and Limbe need to respect the people's call for unity and strike. It is you who has to instill that unity. Me, I've been a Southwesterner. I try as much as possible to make sure, say, me all the Bangwa people, them, the BLM people, they respect the strike. Because if me, I come up Bangwa, then I expect, say, people, the way they follow me, may they also don't say, okay, one of their sons, where they were front line, they sacrifice, you don't lost all things, self. I don't lost all things. I never get something where I even get myself. You my way, go, marry me, self, go inside this fear and fear. So, may the people that support me, may they say, that, okay, no, but move, win this thing. Even for Boya, make the same people where they come up back where they land, they use them where they get enthusiasm, spread the message, because you are the public relations officer of this strike. Nobody is the public relations officer better than you, who is respected in your own family and in your own community. I believe wherever you come from, you are more respected in your community than me, Tapang Ivo. So use that your influence. Use that your influence and spread the message at your own local level. Imagine say if all man they spread the message for your own family and your own small community, then we have networked every place like a mesh network. We'd already network every place. So you are the public relations officer. Don't expect somebody to do it for you. No. I have always said since 2010, as I've always been quoted, advocacy for change must start with your personal example. Advocacy for change must start with your own personal example. So don't expect somebody to do it for you. Do it yourself. All right. Let me take some questions. Ivo, like in some villages, they don't have a local or community radio stations, but they do have a person that can pass message around the village. We can use to call town criers. Yeah, exactly. You must not use, when they say rural communication have several multifaceted, or is multifaceted. One, I feel break down the term and go and go and go and go. Rural communication, you can have radio stations that were called community radio stations. It was set up by UNESCO. UNESCO in 1970s, they came up with what they call the McBride Commission. The McBride Commission was what formed what they call the New World Information Communication Order, otherwise known as NUICO. NUICO was set up because they realized that the West, they call the North-South information flow. The North was always beaming information so much that the South cannot even interact. That means there was an information imbalance. So the UNESCO set up this McBride Commission in 1975 roughly, to balance the flow of information from the North to the South by doing it in a South to the North manner, where they will pump money into all countries, all poor countries. The South means poor countries, the North means rich countries. They will pump money into all poor countries so that they can set up their own communication strategies and communications network and rural communications and whatever, to build their capacity and then disseminate information so much that can even counteract the North or can balance this flow of information. That is why over the years, you've been seeing UNESCO being active, being part and parcel of engineering, sponsoring community communications programs, doing all of these things just to make sure that the people also set their own narrative, or the people set their own agenda, rather than the West setting the agenda for us. I know we'll go plenty into this, but rural communication is all about community radio stations, gatherings, like public spheres or whatever, like you're talking interpersonal communication. You gather yourself during when they chop together. Communication, when two or more people meet. So when they chop together,
when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes a duty. The people of West Cameroon have a duty to resist your oppression.